Like, what's the process that you go through, the routine that you go through before you do one of these shoots that's magnificent? Like, what type of routine do you go through? You get hype, you got a music, you got a playlist, food, what you do?
All that, man. All that. I got a playlist. I always have a playlist, depending on what type of shoot it is or the type of mood for
Okay.
the shoot. Always have a playlist for it. Another thing that I do is definitely storyboarding. Like if I'm going to a music video shoot, I'm really big on storyboarding, and which is a lot of fun for me. Back when I was a kid, I used to do comics. I used to make my own little comic book. So I do the same thing with my storyboards for music videos. I just make a storyboard, and literally when I come to that music video shoot, you can ask anybody that's like set with me. I always have this piece of paper or three pieces of paper with all the drawings on it, and I'll be like, all right, this shot, this shot, this shot, this shot. And that's
Hmm.
just how I do every video. I always have a shot list. When it comes down to photography, I always have a mood board or a style board, something that like explains what we're going to do that day, and I can reference during the shoot. If I start to lose that motivation or creativity, I can go back to something and regain it and get it back again.
That's awesome, man. Talk about the importance of storyboards, right? So
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I feel like you have the ability to create a plan A, B, and C. Like that's what a storyboard does for you. Because even given the technical difficulties that we've had tonight, we've been able to adapt and thrive. And I feel like that's what a storyboard does. So talk about the importance of a storyboard for you in your field in the industry.
Storyboard for me is very important because you if you don't go into a story if you don't go into if you go into a shoot without your storyboard, you'll know for a fact you'll know right away that you wish you did that you wish you had came with a storyboard. 'Cause I know the first time I used a storyboard, I love the fact that whenever I forgot something or if I couldn't remember, because shoot days are chaotic, man. They're so chaotic. You never know what's gonna happen. But a storyboard like gets you back in place. If something goes wrong that day, some technical difficulty, anything that goes wrong, you can get right back in place. Just like you said with your board, like we're able to get right back in place with our storyboards at all times. It
Mhm.
minimizes those mistakes that could happen or more time, especially like when you get to the point where you're paying people hourly, like models or um, actors or whoever you're paying hourly. Like if you don't have that storyboard, that could be another hour that you have to spend trying to regain that momentum that you lost. So if you have a
For sure,
storyboard,
for
you're
sure.
able to get back to that, and you're good to go.
Nah, definitely. I like that. I definitely like that. And one of the things I wanted to kind of go to, like you said, adapting and thriving. Talk about what is like one of the hardest points in your life where you had to overcome adversity or just come up and rise to the challenge to be able to say, I am good enough, or give an affirmation to believe in yourself.
I would definitely say last year. Honestly, last year was when what happened kind of twice, all within one time. But last year, my school closed down. I was at the Art Institute of Seattle, and they closed down,
Okay.
went bankrupt and everything. And I had to transfer to a new college. I transferred to a new college, and they didn't take a lot of my credits at all. So I was starting from square one again, where at the other college I had basically like maybe 2 quarters left of school before I had my bachelor's. And now at this other school, I'm like at phase one, barely got an associate's. And that really scared me. It scared me a lot, honestly, because I was just like, man, what am I going to do? Like, I got out of the military, I'm using my JAB bill, I'm here for school, and this is closed down. Now, what do I have to do? And I go to this new school, and y'all don't accept all my credits. So I'm just like going through like just like up and downs during this time. I think the time that when it was probably like the second quarter that I was at the school, I decided I didn't really like what I was learning anymore, and I felt like I was already at a good place in my career where I could just, if I had more time and not had school in my life, I could just go right away. I could just go, and
For
I
sure.
think that's
Definitely.
where that's definitely that was probably like back in January. In January was during the time I quit school, I dropped out, I went full on with the five, and I started working day and night, content, he's
That's
big,
dope.
doing bigger things with Street
That's
Meat.
amazing.
That was like the time that I started taking it upon myself to really just go full throttle with everything that I was doing. and not let
For
anything
sure.
hold me back at all.
Man, that's awesome, man. You got a great story. You got a great story. One of the things that I wanted to touch on too is that how do you see the importance of an education given what you went through and now where you're at?
I think it's important as far as like the lingo. I think that's like the biggest thing I've learned from school. School helped me as far as learning like the basics and learning the lingo and just being able to talk like a director, speak like an artist, a visual artist, have meetings like an artist, do all those things that most artists really don't know to do. That's what school helped me out a lot with. It gave me those fundamentals. So you can get those fundamentals obviously without school, but I know for me, if it wasn't for school, I probably wouldn't have had those fundamentals at all. I wouldn't be able to
That's
progress where I'm
awesome.
at right now.
That's dope. That's dope. So what are some of the new projects that people can look for from you going into the summer?
So right now, I got going into the summer. There's a music video I'm working on that's going to be released like fairly right after the summer. More fashion films. Expect a lot of those. Definitely more of these edits that I've been doing. I'm trying to make this a true project. Even if once quarantine's over, I'm trying to make this a true project that I'm gonna start working on with people a lot more. Dance videos. Definitely gonna put more concepts into all my dance videos. I got like two more that are gonna be released like next month that everyone can look forward to.